We're here this morning at the home of Stephen Usher, and his involvement with the Waldorf School in Austin has put him in a position where he wants to share something really important with you. And Stephen, what is it?
Well, there is coming to town a two-man play. The play is called This War Is Not Inevitable, and it's a play about Rudolf Steiner's efforts to bring his idea of the threefold social order as a basis for restructuring Central Europe after the war, after the First World War. And it was a major effort of his. It's been largely forgotten because it didn't succeed. It's much more famous today for the Waldorf schools, for biodynamic agriculture, his alternative medicine. But at the time, he was world famous for this effort. His book, Towards Social Renewal, was advertised all over the world. It was reviewed in the New York Times Review of Books. It was reviewed in major economics journals. And it was a huge undertaking. As the war ended in 1918, he began a very public activity. He wrote an article called An Appeal to the German People, where he was trying to convince them to think about this as a way to restructure. It was inserted in newspapers all over Europe, and so he was very, very well known as a social thinker at the time of the war and immediately thereafter. The London Review of Books, I think it was, wrote Steiner's Towards Social Renewal is the most popular political treatise on the continent and in England at that time. And so it made a big splash. He tried to explain to people that in modern times, human society is involved in three principal types of activity. Economic life. Economic life is about the production and circulation of commodities to meet human needs. The opposite pole is cultural life, which is concerned with the cultivation of human capacity in the widest imaginable sense. All of education, all of research, all of medicine, which has to do with our talent for illness, criminal procedures, which has to do with our talent for criminality. All of that, he said, was part of culture. And culture was a very different activity than economics. And in between the two was the life of politics and rights, which has to do with human rights, just human rights, not corporate rights or anything like that. And he said since the time of the French Revolution, there had been a cry. The cry of the French Revolution was equality, fraternity, liberty, which basically means freedom, that's liberty, equality, equality, fraternity, brotherhood. And he said the economic life is about brotherhood, the brotherly meeting of human needs. The opposite pole, cultural life, is about freedom, freedom for human capacities to express themselves. And in the middle, equality, the life of rights, where every human being who is an adult has a voice in how our rights are determined. And he explained that those qualities are not compatible. Equality and liberty, they can't be mixed. For example, if in the symphony orchestra in Austin we wanted equality, then I should have my time as first violinist. But that would be very hard on the public. So we really need the freedom to compete for the best to be put in the highest positions because it benefits us all. And he argued that the idea that competition, which is an issue of liberty, of freedom, belongs in the economic life is all wrong. The economic life really needs to focus in a brotherly way in meeting everyone's needs. So he wrote several books. He toured Europe. There are probably 20 volumes of his lectures at this time where he was going to, the Bosch Motor Works. He was lecturing to crowds of 20,000. There was a security group protecting him because other people were trying to kill him. The Nazis had focused on him. Hitler had written against him in 1921 and 22. He was attacked when he lectured in a big theater in Munich, and this was written up in the New York Times the next day. So he was very well known for this, but it faded away. And yet there are ideas there that would be very beneficial to humanity today. It's been hard to get an interest in it. And so This gentleman, Michael Burton, who is a serious student of Steiner and a playwright, wrote this two-man play. And he's touring the United States. He's also toured Europe. And he's going to be in Austin November 3rd, Austin Waldorf School, their performing arts building where they have a big theater. At 7 o'clock is the play. Will this show up on the screen? That's all the details, but it's 7 p.m., Austin Waldorf School, two-man play, be about 2 till 9, adult admission $15, younger people 10, and I just want to let people know and invite them to this. They'll learn a bit about these ideas. Burton will play Steiner, and another man will play Emil Molt, who was Steiner's colleague in this. Emil Molt was the guy who got the Waldorf schools going. He ran the Waldorf Astoria cigarette factory. He said to Steiner, "Can we make a school for the children of my workmen?" And Steiner said, "Yes, let's do it." And from that, the whole Waldorf movement came. So the play will show Molt and Steiner on stage talking about their plans. Other people, the actors will change outfits and come in different forms. And these are really professional actors in a very interesting, dramatic play, which we hope will not only entertain people, but convey to them some of these concepts of the threefold idea and its history. So that's what I wanted to invite everybody to.
Wow. Thank you very much. This is going to be a very special occasion. And again, when is it?
It's Saturday, November the 3rd, 7 p.m., Austin Waldorf School, which is out on 290. The exact address is 8700 South View Road, which is off 290 as you're headed out towards Dripping Springs.
Thank you, Dr. Usher. We appreciate it.
Thank you for taking the time.